A very good morning to one and all present over here, teachers, to another Super Sunday workshop. A warm welcome to one and all over here. I hope everybody's able to hear me right now. Today, I'm very sorry for all the teachers who felt who had little inconvenience in joining the Zoom meeting, including me. I was also not able to join for quite some time. I do not know why Zoom is giving us such kind of troubles, and somehow now I think the meeting started and all the participants are able to join. The meeting we have actually extended to 1,000 participants, but somehow it is not functioning. In fact, for initial 5 to 7 minutes, it was just showing 100, and even I was not part of the session, or I was not part of the meeting, so even I could not join. Extremely sorry for the delay out there. We'll ensure that next time we start hosting the meeting somewhere around 9:40 or 9:42, around like another 3 to 4 minutes earlier. But anyways, the YouTube link and all the other details, my team members will be putting it on the chat so that the other participants can actually look into it. Thank you so much for joining again. And this Sunday, we're going to have an amazing topic called as National Curriculum Framework for Foundational Stage. It is told that our attitude, our character, or somewhere whatever we are today is directly related to the incidents and experiences that we have had when we were children. In fact, if at all there is some good or bad news, and if there is some more like a counseling session that happens to handle happiness, to handle excitement, to handle sadness, to handle depression, one of the common questions that counselors keep asking is about our past experiences. And these past experiences is somewhere related to your school days, and even more specifically your primary school days. So the area where our mentality gets completely enhanced and developed is the place when we are there in somewhere kindergarten to grade 5 or grade 6 or grade 7, around that particular time. And keeping this in mind, various policies across the globe have been developed by various countries, and some countries believe that starting school when the children are at the age of 7 is more ideal. And some schools in Japan are already doing that, where the children are put to school quite late so that they spend a lot of time with their family members, with the surroundings that they live in, comprehend the language very well, and then they come. In our case in India, that's quite not possible, because we have an universalization of a method where we follow English and not any other language. Japanese is quite common, so they are able to do. There is some kind of uniqueness out there, but in India, that's not possible, because we try to impart the importance of languages, especially English, because that's going to be the medium of education in majority of the schools, at least the schools who have participated right now. And we need to imbibe this in the students, and hence we begin the admission somewhere when the child is at around 3 years of age. So that's how this Anganwadi came into picture according to NEP 2020. And based on that, they also came up with another fantastic document called as Foundation Literacy and Numeracy. It's like you need to learn to read the languages, understand numbers, so that you can read to learn. So that was the whole idea of foundation literacy and numeracy. And this is completely present. A separate website got launched called as Nipun Bharat. I think you might know about that as well. Some of you are not able to hear me. I would request you to please check your audio, teachers. I think most of other people are able to hear me. Please check your audio. You'll definitely be able to hear me. Let's quickly start with today's session of foundation literacy and new. Yeah, of course, foundation literacy and numeracy and national curriculum framework, foundational stage 2022. In fact, when the policy for education started right in the year 1986 or even 75, there was a policy. A lot of emphasis was given to primary education. If primary education is done properly, that is directly related to or proportional to a country's development. It is also said by some great leaders that if you want to really look at a country's development at a larger scale, start investing on early childhood care and education. Today, we are going to touch the document of ECC as well to a quite some extent. But before that, I would like to quickly share my screen and play a small video, quite an interesting video. Please watch this, and in another 3 seconds, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Okay, I think you should be able to see the screen. Yes, right now. And National Curriculum Framework for Foundation Stage as per NAP 2020. And sound is already shared. And this is your video. Okay. Great.
Well, baby, it seems like they're keeping you. I don't quite understand why Mom and Dad decided we needed another kid in the house. I mean, they've got me, but the decision was out of my hands. In any case, I should probably show you around and explain why Mom and Dad do the things they do, because, well, they can be a little strange. Dear baby, let's talk about the most important thing in life, food. First, they'll place you on your throne, put on your ceremonial robe, and then food will appear before you. Food will make your tummy fuller and your brain bigger, but only if you put it in your mouth. Sometimes you just won't want to eat. Strangely, these times the spoon often turns into an airplane or train. Enjoy it while it lasts. Yeah, I can see you're catching on. Dear baby, the only thing you'll love as much as eating is playing. You'll notice that Mom and Dad think they can turn invisible by covering their faces. I know, just humor them. Now, I know what you're thinking, and the answer is yes. Parallel universes do exist. Dear baby, you will learn that there are times when restraint is a good thing, but with time, you'll realize that resistance is futile. Dear baby, you are small now, but your tiny baby brain is growing. It's actually growing faster than Mom and Dad's brains. That means you're smarter than them, even though they can read books that don't have pictures. So that's the scoop, baby. I've passed on everything I know to you. I know it's a lot to take in, but I thought you should know why Mom and Dad are doing all this stuff for you. It's all to help that squishy baby head of yours grow. That way, someday, maybe, your brain will be as big as mine.
So that was a video from United Nations UNICEF out there, and you would have seen that the only two things that any child, when they're born, at least till 8 years of age, they are interested in only two things. One is eating, and another is playing. I think I think we are still the same. It's just that we're doing a lot of other things which we think it's quite fascinating, but eating and playing, what better thing could be there in life? If anyone out there says that you like sleeping, trust me, you want to escape the existing life. Otherwise playing and eating. No, I'm just saying, I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. But the point is, when we talk about the children, so eating and playing are the two areas that UNICEF had identified, and based on that the whole curriculum revolves. And exactly in a similar manner, even India came up with this fun activity, or what children would actually like. So the whole curriculum is designed on what the children would like, and they like to play. Of course, eat is not given as much importance in school education as of now, but early childhood care and education document that you have, that is actually somewhere talking about eating habits as well. I'll tell you something very important for some clarity over here. When we talk about national curriculum framework foundational stage, it's a framework developed by Ministry of like India, the government of India, in Ministry of Education. Basically, they came up with 3 to 8 years what exactly supposed to happen within the school. But if anyone wants to know what exactly supposed to happen from 0 to 8 years of age, that's given in early childhood care and education document. So ECCE is a part of the bigger NCFFS, but ECCE in itself is quite big. So when we talk about today's session, of course, we're going to target 3 to 8 years of age. But in reality, early childhood care and education is just not about 3 to 8. It's actually from 0 to 8 years of age. And it is universal. Universal in the sense, all the countries which follow ECCE, and under ECCE, have got multiple methodology of Montessori methodology, playway, experiential learnings, and stuff like that. And all these cater to 0 to 8 years, ECCE. But here we are talking about national curriculum framework for executing in the school, which is going to be from 3 to 8 years. The first 5 stage according to NEP. Yeah, exactly, that is. So now whatever document that we're going to go through, of course, I have got few presentations where we'll be showing few things related to the development of the document, but in like just like all times, CBSE actually announced a circular probably I think in the 24th March. Let me share my screen and show you that as well. And correct. So date 24th March, CBSE launched a training circular to webinar to create an awareness on National Curriculum Framework NCFS. I would request you to please Google this. You will get it easily in the archives of CBSE website. And you have a YouTube live session where they completely, declutter the complete document of 360 pages. So if you go through this, you'll get a lot of idea about what NCFS is all about. I didn't really find this to be very useful because it was quite short. 360 pages is huge. Even this webinar is not sufficient enough to get into the details of it, but let us understand the summary of each and everything. So this is the circular based on which the complete preparation of today's webinar has happened. And the document of NCF FS was actually done by Sri K. Kasturi Rangan, and he's actually a scientist. He was heading ISRO from 1994 to 2003, and he was put in charge for becoming the head of the chairman drafting committee of NEP 2020 also. So NEP 2020 document which got framed is also under his leadership, and he actually came up with one fantastic idea of um, national steering committee. I'll repeat it: national steering, something like. So he was the one who created this committee, which was responsible for national curriculum frameworks. There were four types of national curriculum frameworks actually. One was actually for foundational stage, another is for higher classes, the third one was for the teachers, the fourth one was for adult education. So you will find under NEP four national curriculum framework, and these are the four, and all these are driven by the National Steering Committee. See, once you understand the structure of what's exactly happening around, it will be very easy for you to comprehend and respond to situations. And this national committee that we're talking about, steering committee that we're talking about, under these people, like four NCFs have come, and these four NCFs are actually made with people like us, people like you, where who are teachers, and these teachers from each and every state in India contribute to the development of the document. Do you know what these people are called as? These people are called as National Focus Groups, NFGs. State NFGs are there, national NFGs are there. They are all put together, they all sit together, and with a lot of inputs, research, the document is ready. So let me directly share my screen and begin with our first and the most important emphasis on the domains of development. We are going to divide this webinar into four areas of curriculum. What exactly is the National Curriculum Framework? What does it mean? Where we talk about the definitions, domains of development, and a lot of things. The second is with respect to the pedagogies. Here the pedagogy is quite obvious, it's a playway method, but what are the things that are revolving around it? So the curriculum, the pedagogy. The third will be the assessment. What sort of assessment? No pen and paper assessment, it seems. A little bit is there for just foundational literacy and numeracy. And finally the technology. How can you include technology into the curriculum? And one important terminology that I really liked is Jadui Pitara. So they had this box wherein it was a physical box as well, and it's also a virtual box where it consists of all the materials that are required for a primary teacher to engage with children of grade 3 to 8 category. We'll talk about all these four areas, and finally, we'll also talk about the AI, artificial intelligence, and a chat GPT a little bit to understand how we can generate content, which we've been doing in all the webinars. And if anyone is interested in joining a separate webinar on artificial intelligence and chat GPT, we are launching one program on 21st and 22nd. I'll repeat it, I think Wednesday and Thursday. And we're charging a small amount of 500 rupees. It's going to be a 5 hours webinar from 5 o'clock to 7:30 in the evening, 21 and 22nd. And there is a complete CPD program of 25 hours from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Monday to Friday, starting on 26th of June. And if anybody is joining AI and ChatGPT of 500 rupees, this particular fees will be adjusted in the CPD program also. So that means you are not going to pay two times. And all the teachers who have already attended our CPD programs will be sharing the link with you separately. You can join without any cost. You've already done the course. So this is more like the benefit that I committed. So you can join the course. So let's quickly get on with the first slide. Here we go. So the first slide, here we go. Come on, come on, come on. Great. Zoom, please. I share the screen. I hope it is visible. It should be. Great. It is visible right now, I guess. Yes. So yeah. So when we talk about the national curriculum framework, this is something that I really wanted to talk about. A curriculum framework must support exactly that. So it is a framework to help develop all the diverse curricula in the country, while enabling the consonance and harmony across the country and providing a basis for quality and equity. So when we talk about curriculum framework, what exactly does it mean? Does it consist of the content? Does it consist of the methodology? Does it consist of the assessment mechanism? It consists of all of these things. And what is the objective? The objective is to make sure that this particular document is suitable for each and every child. So when we talk about the curricula across our country must be informed by and fully be responsible to the glorious university and unity and diversity in India. The imagination of NEP 2020, where institutions and educators are highly empowered, including to develop curricula, is energized by this diversity. In fact, when Kasturi Rangan sir was even addressing in one of the webinars, it is important for a child to relate to the surroundings that they live in. Now, the surrounding of Assam, Meghalaya is extremely different from the surrounding of Tamil Nadu, or it is different from Gujarat, or it's different from Jammu or Madhya Pradesh. When we give or cite examples from that locality, now that creates the difference. And one important aspect over here is the language of a child. It is said that until 8 years, the children learn or the brain development is the fastest. But what's really important is the connections of neurons in the brain. When the children are learning multiple things in their life, so that they can learn life in the future, these connections has to be established with their way and region of brought up. They say na patriotism, going back to the roots. It seems it's all about this aspect of being connected with the surroundings. I never thought it's of so much importance until I went through this particular document. Thus, a curriculum framework provides the guiding principles, goals, structure, and elements for the development of curricula, informed by which the syllabi, teaching learning materials, including play materials, workbooks, textbook, and assessment methods will be developed by the relevant functionaries, including teachers in the states, boards, and schools. This is what it's all about, curriculum framework. Now, characteristics of this NCF to enable its objectives. This NCF is designed with the teacher as the primary focus. Though NEP is completely designed by keeping students as the central point, but this particular document, which is especially the National Curriculum Framework for foundational stage, is being designed with teacher as the primary focus, so that teacher can make everything from student-centric perspectives. So this particular document, a student cannot read. He will not be able to understand. A teacher needs to read so that she gets guided on what to be done with the children. The reason being that the teacher is at the heart of the practice of education. Like from the policymakers to the students, who is the bridge? Teacher is the bridge. It is the teacher who is ultimately the torchbearer for the changes we seek. As such, it is the perspective of the teacher that must be carried by all, including syllabus and content developers, textbook writers, administrators, and others. This is interesting, right? In such kind of webinars and in such kind of documents, we can feel the importance of teachers. Let us feel that as much as possible now itself, because during the implementation we don't have time to feel this. Let's go with the next one. So this is what is the first layer of our document, which talks about Panchakosha Vikas. Now I'm really happy with this particular document for one important reason, that the whole document is somewhere from our Vedas, from our Indian contextualization, and it is more like enforcing, I should say. Now, fivefold development Panchakosha is actually from a Taittiriya Upanishad, and from there they speak about a child is whole being with the Panchakoshas or five sheets. It's basically like a layer. The layers are Annamaya Kosha, which is a physical layer, the bodily development, whatever, you know, kinesthetic or whatever you call that. Pranamaya Kosha, which is life force energy. Manomaya Kosha, which is mind layer. Now, the mind layer and the physical layer, when your body is sound, your mind is sound, or when the mind is sound and the body is sound, there is a very good relationship over there. And when both of these are sound, your energy is very, very contagious, very powerful. So Annamaya Kosha and Pranamaya Kosha and Manomaya Kosha, all these things can be felt. It's something tangible in nature. But Vijnanamaya Kosha or Vijnanamaya Kosha is intellectual layer, and Anandamaya Kosha is inner self, which is called as the bliss layer. Now, these are the two things where you gain some sort of inner confidence or something that cannot be measured. I talk to Kiran Jot or I talk to Hema, I talk to one of the teachers out there, I gain some kind of insights. Can I really measure that? No, it's not possible. That's somewhere which we call as intellectuality. And Anandmay question is somewhere about the satisfaction that you gain out of those learnings. Sometimes you'll see that the confident people, how much ever we try to intimidate them with a lot of knowledge aspects, they'll very nicely smile and then walk away. They'll accept defeat, or they'll accept unknown. So all these, confidence level gets built up in a particular child at Anandmaya Kosha, which is more like the bliss experience. And the details of this is there in a lot of yoga YouTube videos. I saw a lot of videos. I thought, like, let me play some of them, but वो बहुत दैविक हो गया था. Like a lot of them were actually getting connected to a lot of spirituality. But here we wanted to stick to what's exactly happening in our national curriculum framework, and that's the reason I'm not playing those videos. But I would request you to please, watch some of the videos. In fact, some of the gurus out there say that these 5 koshas or these 5 layers are supposed to be detached. You're not supposed to be part of it. If you're able to detach yourself with all of these things, you will attain moksha. Okay, if I continue the talk like this, I might become another Sadguru. So let's not get over there. So let's continue with the further aspect of it. But please watch the videos. You will definitely get a good insight about Panchakosha Vikas, amazing Taittiriya Upanishad. And I'm really happy that based on this, the document is beginning and starting. I really love that fact. So the holistic development of a child takes into account the nurturing and nourishment of these 5 layers. Let's go further. Now, when we talk about, these in technical terminologies, this is actually present in page number 56 of this document. Curricular goals. I think this is not that clearly visible. I would like to show it over here properly in the actual PDF document. Great, here we are. So it seems that a child, when it's born and till 8 years of age, actually till adolescence, according to few documents, there are 5 areas of development that happens. 5 areas of development. The first one is the physical development, where our body grows. You have got the hands and the legs and everything is growing, and yeah, that's great. Physical development. Socio emotional and ethical development. Earlier documents of domains of development did not address ethical development, and this is new right now. Now, socio-emotional development is all about a child's behavior towards another child or another human being altogether. Very important. Ethical is all about being sensitive about and respecting other people. And you can't tell a child, it seems, that say thank you to uncle because he gave you the food. No, it's supposed to be, it seems that how did you feel when somebody gave you that toy or laddu, or the child has to, I feel happy. And if you feel happy because of that, you should say thank you. So there is supposed to be some kind of reasoning behind every gratitude expression, even if it is sorry for that matter. So that's a beautiful point that I found this document, which is about ethical development. Let's go further. Cognitive development is related to intellectuality, connection of neurons, synaptic pruning. Now, that's a term that's used over here. I would not be talking about that to a large extent now. I would request you to make a note of it. SYNAPTIC. Synaptic pruning, PRUNING. What is synaptic pruning? It's all about the connections of multiple information with one another. More the connection, sharper you become. Language and literacy development. We have got a separate domain called as foundational literacy and numeracy because of this one point. Aesthetic and cultural development. Now, aesthetic and cultural development is something related to appreciation of information, like arts. Like somebody dances and you say, wow. Somebody does something amazing on the piece of paper, they draw something, you're like, wow. So appreciation, being sensitized towards colors and performing arts and visual arts and things like that. So that is with respect to aesthetic and cultural development. And this particular layer of development is directly supported with art integrated learning according to CBSE. So if you get into that, you will get a lot of information about it. One very important point over here that they mentioned is language and literacy development. It's important for all the teachers out there to make sure the children are exposed not more than 3 languages. Of course, it's a very subtle message. The children think on their own, and when they think something, Hemlata ma'am, it's because of the process of talking to yourself. And children, the ability of children to talk to themselves comes up with a technical term called as metacognitive abilities. I think you might know about it, right? So metacognitive abilities is all about a children responding to their thought process of, should I do this or not, should I do that or not. It's all about deciding for themselves based on their own thought process. And this thought process is completely revolving around the way you talk to yourself. And talking is all about language. So it's important for the child to be maximum exposed, to think in a language which he or she is maximum exposed to. Suppose if a child is coming from Maharashtra and his background is Marathi, it is important for a teacher to make sure that Marathi somewhere, or a school leader to address that area of Marathi, considering the diversified locality. In Mumbai, I used to do my schooling and I had got multiple students from multiple backgrounds, but somewhere we need to find a methodology to make sure that the child, basically the mother tongue or the maximum exposed language, is addressed in the sense given a lot of importance. That improves the cognitive abilities. But why are we talking about it? These 5 domains of development have got something called as curricular goals. Now, what do they mean by it? Now, curricular goals can be reviewed periodically, informed by the experience of implementation of the NCF and development and changes in national aspirations. I'll show you one by one. Now, you can see that physical development, what should the child do? Children develop habits that keep them healthy and safe. Children develop sharpness and sensorial perceptions. They have got 5 sense organs. I think you would have already known that sensory development is very important, and all the teachers would have been advising children or giving activities where all the 5 sense organs come into picture. What are the 5 sense organs? Eyes, ears, nose, smelling, skin, feeling, taste, tongue as well. Okay. Okay, great. Annotations by mistake. Great. So children develop habits. Okay, then social and emotional and ethical development. Children develop emotional intelligence, that is the ability to understand and manage their own emotions and respond positively to social norms. Very important. EQ development. If there is a teacher out there who's finding a child who's regularly crying, that is actually not a sign of weakness. It seems that if you cry, you're actually strong with your EQ. But if you feel sad and if you don't cry, somewhere you are hiding emotions, that's wrong. Anyways, children develop a positive attitude towards the productive work and service of seva. Yeah, ethical development. Children develop a positive regard for the natural environment around them. So these are some of the things with respect to all the things. So all the 5 domains of development. Ultimately, CG1 se lekar CG13 are the areas that the teacher is going to work on in the future with these children. Children develop habits of learning that allow them to engage actively in formal learning environments like school classroom. This is the objective at the end. So once after grade 3, children have to go to grade 4 and 5, where the focus on development of these 5 domains is focused less, and the focus is on learning the surroundings. And for that, this basement is very important. I'm spending quite a decent amount of time on this because end of the day, the NCF document that we have completely revolves around this particular concept. Let me stop share the screen and show you one important. Here we go. Come on. I hope you're able to see the screen. Yes, great. So for this, I would like to play a small video, teachers. Please watch this and then we'll come back again. And this is early childhood, the research. This is by another famous YouTube channel called Sprouts. Please watch it. Okay, I'll just go back a little bit.
What a child experiences during the first years of their life has a lasting impact on the development of their brain. While genes set the roadmap, experiences create the neural connection inside the brain that sets the foundations of our emotions, language, motor skills, vision, and memories. If one region gets additional stimulation, the neural pathways within that area and the connections to other areas grow stronger. This process is called synaptic pruning. You can also imagine your brain as a planet. There is motor skill metropolis, memory mountain, and vision village. Through the years, popular cities grow bigger and links between them get larger. Now, if one area was never developed, there can be traffic jams. This then slows down the development of the entire brain. Some neurotransmitters will be tired getting to work. Others will take shortcuts and get lost. Betty Hart and Todd Risley studied children's exposure to language. On average, children from families on welfare were exposed to about 600 words per hour. Kids from rich families got about 2,000. By the age of 3, the gap becomes 30 million words. But it didn't end there. children from privileged families received much more positive feedback. For every 6 words of praise, there was only 1 word of discouragement. Welfare kids, however, had twice as much discouragements as praise. This could make a difference that lasts a lifetime. In a study that began in 1963, psychologist David Weikart and his team randomly divided 123 underprivileged kids into 2 groups. One group spent 2 years at a top preschool with excellent teachers. They made art, discussed problems, and received a lot of attention, respect, and love. For the other, life went on as usual, often without much attention from anyone. 40 years later, the High-Scope Perry Preschool study was published. At age 5, 67% of the children in the top preschool group had an IQ of over 90. They were school-ready. Of the others, only 28% achieved that. At 14, there was a big difference in basic classroom achievements. At 27, the top preschool group were more likely to own their own home. And at age 40, they earned more money and were less likely to ever be sentenced to jail. The researchers concluded that the 2 years at preschool nourished the children not only intellectually, but also gave them social skills, courage, and perseverance. This combination of character strength, also called grit, was later responsible for their success in life. The $15,000 invested in putting those kids into preschool later benefited the entire society, mainly through a reduction in crime. The total return of investment was estimated to be at $195,000. In 2006, Nobel Prize-winning economist James Heckman published what became known as the Heckman Curve. It shows the return of investments in education, which is the highest in the early years. Governments have since started to act. In Germany, parents get a lot of financial support to raise their kids. In Japan, mothers or fathers can take a full year of paid leave. In France, all children go to kindergarten free of charge. If you happen to be in charge, know that with every extra minute you spend encouraging and talking to that little troublemaker, you might be doing him a favor for life. According to the University of Michigan, regular family dinners are a stronger predictor of good grades than doing homework.
So that's with respect to Sprout's YouTube channel. It's really amazing with respect to early childhood education. You should watch this. Now, dinner with the family, yahan par, in India it is like very common. You have to sit with us, and no mobiles, no screen time. I think we are already doing this, right? Yeah. So this is with respect to this. See, I'm trying to cover the pointers that are present in the documents, but also not present. Something towards that. If you look into the document, there are a lot of jargons used, and whatever we are speaking around is somewhere there present in the document. So rather than going through the complete 360-page document, I would request you to watch the YouTube video of the National Curriculum Framework Foundational Stage, more like a summary. That is more than sufficient for everyone. But what's interesting about the document is they've also given very good methodologies of teaching, assessments. The tools are also given that will enable a teacher to run the classes successfully, which we really can't cover within another 15 to 20 minutes. But let's understand the overarching framework of that. And for that, I would like to share my screen again, and I would like to talk about what are the areas that a teacher should focus on in order to make sure the children are ready to learn the things from grade 4 onwards. We have already done this, I think, during our foundation literacy and numeracy program. However, let me quickly do that revision over here. What is foundation literacy and numeracy, and what are the milestones to be achieved? It's quite important for us to understand this, and that's the reason it's there. So meaning and importance of FLN for numeracy. Okay, I think milestone, I'm sorry. So numeracy milestone, here we go. When the child is in grade 1, he should be able to read and write numbers up to 99 correctly. Now, for all the maths teachers, social teachers, English teachers, no, in case of primary classes, we have mother teachers. We can't really categorize as EVS, maths, and science. Ideally, it is not supposed to be. Well, when we talk about literacy and numeracy milestone grade 1, read and write numbers up to 99 correctly. Yeah. English teacher cannot tell, go and ask max teacher this. No, I'm just kidding. Well, we'll go to grade 2. When we go to grade 2, solves 2-digit addition and subtraction problems. That is under grade 2. And understand the concept of length, height, and weight from the physical aspects. So when we say 25 kg, 35 kg, generally the example is given with the children's weight. If I say, Vasu weighs somewhere around 70 kgs or 75 kgs or 100 kgs. If I'm the boy over there, I think, okay, this is my weight, but comprehension of that becomes a difficult task. If I am 35 kg, how much would this phone weigh? You can't comprehend that. Why? Because the comparison of your weight with other surrounding weights is kind of little difficult. So you need to have some kind of referential weights, referential, for example, 1 kg tomato, this much it is, 2 kg this much, 5 kg this much, and show them 35 kg. Oh, this is your weight right now. Then it will be easy for them to comprehend the weights. That's important over here in this area, which is especially in grade 2. Solves 2-digit addition and subtraction problem. Understand the concept of length, height, and weight. Let's go further. Grade 3 talks about solves 3-digit addition, subtraction, and 2-digit multiplication problems. Identify and describe basic 2D shapes. 2D shapes and not 3D shapes. There's a specific reason for that, but let us stick to the point right now. So these are the milestones as a teacher, like as a student, you have the children should undergo until 3 years or grade 3 or 8 years of age under numeracy section. For literacy, again, you have got some milestones present out there. First one, orally answer simple question after listening to a short story. Okay, that's great. A teacher talks about a story and they start answering it, developing speaking skills. Identify and write aksharas taught in grade 1. Reading and writing skill somewhere. Accurately read out familiar 2 to 3 letter words with a matra. Now this could be for English, and Hindi as well. English thoda sa difficulty because you don't have matra as such, but that's fine, no problem. So these are the milestones for grade 1 under literacy. We go to grade 2. Grade 2, the children should be able to narrate a simple story in their own words. Read grade level text with reasonable fluency, example 30 words per minute, and orally answer simple factual and recall questions. Great. Identify and write all the aksharas taught till grade 2. That's nice. Write single line answers to questions based on a story. See, whatever I'm reading out is actually from Diksha course. So if anybody has done the course of foundation literacy and numeracy, this is not new for you. But when we did that, we just took some screenshots and thought that, okay, this is the most important. Let's put it on the slides. Grade 3, finally, you've got orally expresses their opinion, understanding about the story and characters in that story. Now, this is where one nice term was used called a student agency. Children taking responsibility of their thought process, their studies, and also have believing in their own opinions. And that should be inculcated at grade 3 level by the teacher. What do you think about this? Do you think that's the right thing to do? Do you think that's a wrong thing to do? Something like that. So orally expresses their opinion, understanding about the story and characters in that story. Moral of the story, stuff like. So grade 3, again, read their grade level text fluently. Example 30 to 35 words per minute, and answer simple questions based on the meaning of the text. That's great. This is with respect to grade 3. Finally, write independently to express themselves. You would have seen that writing was not part of a milestone in grade 2. So when you go to grade 2, it was just about aksharas a little bit. But the moment you talk about, write single line, grade 2, answers to questions based on a story. But the moment you come to grade 3, write independently to express themselves. So your areas of LSRW with respect to any language for that matter, Hindi, English, Kannada, Tamil, Malayalam, whatever it could be, these are the milestones according to National Curriculum Framework foundational stage. I hope everybody got a picture of this, teachers. Let me stop share the screen for a few seconds. So whatever input we are receiving right now, teachers, there are many schools out there, the school leaders out there who have made the Super Sunday workshop to be mandatory. And for the teachers, I'm very happy about that. But at the same time, this is more like a coffee break on a Sunday, and you just watch this like, just like that in a very simple and nice manner. But in order to make that certificate that we provide you a little more valuable, a little more respectable, and to be accepted on a wider range, we have come up with 2 ideas. One is the reflection form. There is a reflection form that will be launched right after the webinar, which is compulsory for all the participants who have attended the session. This is the first thing. And reflection webinar form or reflection form will have certain questions from what we have done during the webinar in that 1 hour. So that's something going to be there as a question. And second idea over here is um, with respect to when we launch this form, in order to make it a little more serious, this form will stop accepting responses somewhere in the evening, maybe 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, or maximum by 6 o'clock, so that I avoid duplications also, because when there is a inquiry form launched, multiple people add to it, and sometimes I'm not able to cater to the YouTube people who are present out there, because somewhere my chat on Zoom gets saved, but YouTube I'm not able to do that. So for the people who are there on YouTube live and on Zoom right now, it's important for everyone to fill, and compulsory for everyone to fill the reflection form, so that looking at the responses in each and every form, along with the timing, we value the certificate little more, so that the authentic responses come into picture. I hope I'm able to understand. Some of you here are actually not for the certificates, you're here just for the knowledge purpose, but some of you are somewhere forced to have some kind of certifications. So in order to cater to everyone, this is something that we are bringing into picture. And all these things will be launched right after a few minutes by our team members. Let's continue further, and we are going to get into the teaching learning strategies. And for that, here we go. Now, Panchadi is the idea that is present over here. So the 5-step learning process, I hope everybody's able to see the screen. Okay, great. Panchadi is a good guide to formulate the sequence that a teacher may adopt in planning for instruction. This is, look at this, Adhiti, which is more like introduction. Bodh, it's conceptual understanding. Abhyas, which is the practice. Prayog, it's the application. Prasar is the expansion. Prasar or pressar, I don't know. I think it's prasar, or Hindi teachers, please correct me if I'm wrong. It's expansion. And this is very much related to what these people called as 5E model. I think you would have heard about 5E model: engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate. So probably kahin na kahin wo Panchadi se bahar gaya hoga, and that's why these people have got these terminologies. But Panchadis are Indian document which very nicely mentions, whenever you get into the class, let's introduce the child, Aditi, introduce the child with something that they're aware about. Very important, aware about. And have you ever gone into a seesaw, or gone onto a seesaw, or a swing, or a slide? The children would have actually gone through it, and if not, at least they would have seen. So Aditi, introduction about something they already know about, so that we can engage with them. Then we can get this particular topic within the textbook or within the learning objective, which is going to be both, which is on conceptual understanding. And once the concept is dealt, the teachers give abhyas, which is more like practice, and then prayog, which is more like real life application. The children actually do an activity. And finally, expansion. The teachers don't really need to have to monitor about it, but the children use that conceptual knowledge to learn something else, to do something else. That's pressure. So this is something that I really loved about Panchadi, or 5-step learning process. And with this teaching learning process, they also have supporting assessment documents, which we will be talking about little later. Let's go further with the one of the methods that or the primary methods that was focused about. Where is it? Great. So the primary method that was focused about is the play method. I think most of you already know about it. Learning through play comprises of conversations, storytelling, toy-based learning, and selection of toys are very important. You just don't need to have the rattles that's there. No, you should also have some intellectual toys that's present in Jadui Pitara. We'll see that in a few seconds. Songs and rhymes, music and movement. I think some teachers literally become dance teachers, music teachers, art teachers, max teachers. All that's why they call us mother teachers. Interesting, right? Music and movement, art and craft, indoor games, outdoor games, spending time in and with nature. Some teachers, we've seen that they take classes by getting the children some random place under a tree, probably for that matter. Field trips, bachcho ko field trips. It's like go to the nearby garden and just play with the sand. Organizing the environment awareness programs. So these are some of the things that are explicitly mentioned. Not that we are not doing. All the teachers are somewhere doing it. But when it is documented, it has got altogether a different level of seriousness. Now, when we talk about domains of development, from Playway method, it is very much related to the actual domain of development with the curricular goals that we saw. But here, when they talked about the Panchadi, and under that they've written that through the Playway method, children will be developing physical development, which is sharirik vikas, development of life energy, which is pranic vikas, emotional and mental development, development, which is Mansik Vikas, intellectual development, Bauddhik Vikas, and spiritual development, Chaitsik Vikas. Now, these domains of development, again, 5 over here. Spiritual development is somewhere related to ethics and things like that, socio and emotional things like that. It's just a rearrangement of few words with whatever is mentioned in the early childhood care and education document, which we saw along with the curricular goals. But this is from the Indian document, as simple as that. So that's why I wanted to put this over here. And finally, with respect to teaching languages and mathematics, see, language and mathematics forms the base of learning further information about other subjects, and that's the reason these are given a lot of importance in early childhood care and education, especially foundation literacy and numeracy. So 4 blocks model, or the blocks model, so you divide the whole class or the day into 4 blocks. The first block will be oral language development, like the picture conversation. You show a picture and the children talk about it. Sharing experiences, storytelling, drama and role play, all these come under the category of oral language development. Then comes word recognition, phonological awareness activities. Language is important, right? The pronunciations are equally important. That brings some kind of the way you speak. For example, PH words have got f sound. CH has got k sound and things like that. So that's why phonological awareness activities, letter recognition, sound symbol association, skill focused writing of letters and words, letter and word reading. This is word recognition. And then comes reading. See, each of these has got an elaborate explanation in the document. I would request you to please go through it. But reading, read aloud, shared reading. Have you done this, teachers? First line, Sarvesh, you read it. Second line, Shalini, you read it. Have you done that? I think you would have done that. Shared reading, guided reading, like you read and then the teacher, student read right after that. Independent reading, asking the children to read it aloud. So writing, then modeled writing, shared writing, guided writing, independent writing. This shared writing has got one amazing. I'm not going to show that because of the time constraint. There is some tool called as AI Dungeon. AI Dungeon is a fantastic artificial intelligence technology. Please make a note of it. The child can type the first line of a story. Once upon a time, there lived a lion and a mouse in a dense forest. And the next line of that particular story will be automatically generated by AI Dungeon. Third line has to be written by the child based on the AI generated line. Then the fourth line is again generated by AI. This is somewhere called a shared writing. Now, rather than doing it with AI, here you have got 2 children sitting in one bench. Probably you can ask each of them to do this activity. Modeled writing is something related to you have a model already given to the children, write a similar thing. For example, it could be write a letter to your father, write a letter to your mother, and a model letter is already shown to children. Guided writing, independent writing. So these are the 4 blocks for language. Let's go for the mathematics. Block 1, very similar: oral math talk, math poem, oral calculation, concept, children's experience. When we talk about oral calculation, we have seen during our days, these days it's not common, the children recite the tables itself in the form of a poem. 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4, 2 threes are 6, 2 fours are 2. This is not at all a poem, but it used to be even more rhyming and timing during our days. I was not good at that, but yeah, that's not actually math poem. That's more like oral calculation, and it's important for them to calculate and respond. That's mentioned in the document. Skills teaching combine all strand of proficiency with respect to competency. We have not touched that area today. Block 3, skills practice, procedural, conceptual, problem solving and reasoning. And finally, the math game, reinforcing learning and problem solving. Math games could be created by a teacher. And in Jadui Pitar also, you've got a lot of games. And it's also mentioned in the National Curriculum Framework document, a lot of games with respect to mathematics. And finally, once we get into the details of, the early childhood care and education, these strands go towards the next area. Why do we do this? Foundational stage may we give target to curricular goals for development of domains so that the children are able to learn the curriculum that's there in grade 4 and above. That's the preparatory stage. I hope you're able to see the bridge over here. Content, concrete experiences. That's the place where they experience their sense organs and a lot of areas which we were talking about, and that is going to be related to abstract content. Abstract content in the sense completely new, The children are not going to feel that easily as they have felt the other activities that they have done. Grade 4 is quite sensitive for that matter, because here is the place where as a teacher you will be able to understand, have the children really attained foundational literacy and numeracy to learn the future? That's going to be abstract content, something very new that they would have never. Then comes foundation stage, which is completely learner centric, so that the children become self-directional in the future at the preparatory stage. Self-directional in the sense, for example, I give an activity of a project to say, let's have, Mushtaq. So I say that you have to do this particular activity. Now Mushtaq will know about what exactly a project is only when she would have done project in the early ages, or know the term called as project. Now that's where learner centric, it's all about learning what these things are. And the moment you go to preparatory stage, you find meaning in whatever instructions that you get from the teacher, which is more self-directional. And finally, teacher observations are the key assessment area for foundational stage. Observations, no pen and paper. The children have to you need to just observe that. There are few models of assessment given in the document. You can go through it, but it's not about pen and paper. The children should not even be known that they're actually being assessed. And then yahan par assessment tasks, which is low stakes, not that much of an importance, at least in the preparatory stage. Yeah, so this is with respect to linkages to the higher stages. Now that brings us to the last part of our session, and it's very, very important, which is going to be called as the Piaget's theory of child's development. And I'm just skipping few slides of the teacher's handbook and what exactly is present on National Curriculum Framework document. But anyways, this video is of more importance. I'm prioritizing that over here. Let me share the screen. I think you should be able to see this. Please watch this theory, teachers.
Piaget's theory argues that we have to conquer 4 stages of cognitive development. First, the sensory motor stage. Second, the pre-operational stage. Third, the concrete operational stage. And fourth, the formal operational stage. Only once we have gone through all the stages, at what age can vary, we are able to reach full human intelligence. 1. The sensory motor stage, ages birth to 2. In the sensory motor stage, we develop through experiences and movement our 5 senses. Our brain wants to see, hear, smell, taste and touch as much as possible. First, we start with simple reflexes, and soon after we develop our first habits. From 4 months old, we become aware of things beyond our own body, and then as we get older, we learn to do things intentionally. A key milestone is the development of working memory, or in Piaget terms, our realization of object permanence. Before that, our mum can show and then hide a teddy, and we would think it's gone. After, we understand that objects continue to exist even when we can't see them. We start becoming curious about everything. We want to smell flowers, taste food, listen to sounds, and talk to strangers. To explore more, we move. We learn to sit, crawl, stand, walk, and even to run. This increased physical mobility consequently leads to increased cognitive development. But we remain egocentric, meaning we can perceive the world only from our own point of view. 2. The pre-operational stage, ages 2 to 7. Our thinking is mainly categorized through symbolic functions and intuitive thoughts. We have lots of fantasies and believe objects are alive. As we are not able to apply specific cognitive operations, Piaget calls this stage pre-operational. We learn to speak and understand that words, images, and gestures are symbols for something else. When we draw our family, we are not concerned about drawing each person to scale, but rather with their symbolic meanings. We love to play pretend, which allows us to experience something new and learn a lot. At around age 4, most of us become very curious and ask many questions. We want to know everything. We can call it the birth of primitive reasoning. Piaget calls it the intuitive age, because while we realize that we have a vast amount of knowledge, we have no idea how we acquired it. Our thinking in this stage is still pretty egocentric. We think others see the world like we do and still don't understand that they see it differently. 3. The concrete operational stage, ages 7 to 11. We finally discover logic and we develop concrete cognitive operations, such as sorting objects in a certain order. One example of this is inductive reasoning, which means that if we see someone eating a cookie, we can draw a conclusion and then make a generalization. And we now get the concept of conservation. We understand that if we pour orange juice from a normal glass to a taller one, the amount stays the same. Our younger sister will pick the taller glass, thinking she gets more. By the same logic, we only now can understand that if 3 plus 5 equals 8, then 8 minus 3 must equal 5. Our brain learns to rearrange our thoughts, to classify and build concrete operational mental structures. For example, we now know that we can reverse an action by doing the opposite. Excited by our new mental abilities, we apply them in conversations, activities, when we learn to write, and in school. As a result, we get to know ourselves better. We begin to understand that our thoughts and feelings are unique and not necessarily those of others. That means that we learn to put ourselves in someone else's shoes. 4. The formal operational stage, age 12 plus. Once we become teenagers, we become formally operational. We now have the ability to think more rationally about abstract concepts and hypothetical events. Our advanced cognitive abilities allow us to understand abstract concepts such as success and failure, love and hate. We form a deeper understanding of our own identity and our morality. We now also think that we understand why people behave the way they behave, and as a result, can become more compassionate. Our brain can now do deductive reasoning, which means we can compare two statements and reach a logical generalization. Our new mental skills allow us to plan our life systematically and prioritize, and we can make assumptions about events that have no necessary relation to reality. We can now also philosophize and just think about thinking itself. Our new sense for our identity now also creates egocentric thoughts, and some start to see an imaginary audience watching them all the time. Piaget believed in lifelong learning, but insisted that the formal operational stage is the final stage of our cognitive development. Jean Piaget's first interests were animals, and he published his first scientific paper on albino sparrows in 1907, when he was just 11 years old. In 1920, he began working with standardized intelligence tests. He realized that younger children consistently make types of mistakes that older children do not. He concluded that they must think differently and spent the rest of his life studying the intellectual development of children.
Great. So that was with respect to Piaget's theory, but it is more
Piaget's
applicable
theory
for
argues that we
the
have to
first
conquer four
three
stages
stages of cognitive development, which is more applicable for, the early childhood care and education. And this is the Jadoo Pitara that we were talking about, which is the materials that are present for the teachers to use it in the class to conduct the activities. So this is a separate website altogether. The moment I click on it, it will take me to the website actually. But the moment you click on open, it's like the Pitara, the box is getting opened up. And these are some of the materials that you have in that. So something like plays at the core, collection and variety, age appropriate materials, attractive for children and teachers, easy to use, simple language, multiple languages, and easy to create. And again, more are there. It's mapped with the curricular goals and competencies of the stage, each stage actually. Vertical and horizontal linkages are present. It's the progression that they maintain. Cost effective, inclusive, culturally rooted. Some schools have ordered this from NCERT itself. I did not find the place from where we can order this, but you definitely get all these things in local market at a very, very budgeted price. Can be developed, procured, or collected, take care of all the domains and lead towards holistic development. So that's with respect to Jadoo Pitara. Please go through the website to know more about it. And finally, the last slide of the day, early childhood care and education. This is the budget that was actually allocated, and it was found that the rates of return to human capital investment. So there was a lot of maximum investment in education goes to preschool programs. And you can see that rate of return of investment in human capital is also maximum. So more the investment, better is the output for preschool programs. And for schooling, whatever budget was allocated, you can see that this is the rate of return, which is at this particular level, R level. And finally, once we are out of schools, whatever trainings that we undergo, there is a certain cost that government has put up to it. It's a very minimal cost, and the rate of return of investment is also very, very less. Why? Because the focus is not here. There won't be any requirement of a job training if the children are ready back in those days itself. That means the foundational years. So that's with respect to our Indian government and their initiatives towards National Curriculum Framework foundational stage. And that's it from my side for today's webinar. I'm really sorry that it extended for some time, and we started also a little late because of Zoom complications. We'll ensure that next time this doesn't happen. And thank you to all the participants for participating regularly. I would like to quickly announce that CPT program, the last batch is starting on 26 June. And before that, there were some teachers who are asking for artificial intelligence and ChatGPT program separately to happen. And we have designed this for 5 hours at a cost of 500 rupees on 21st and 22nd, 5 o'clock to 7:30. And if anybody is joining this particular webinar, and if you have already attended our existing CPT program, then you don't have to pay for it. Suppose if you pay 500 rupees and join in this, you don't have to pay completely. This 500 rupees will be waived off in the 2,500 rupees program of CPD. I hope you got some clarity. If it's confusing, please contact me. You have my number. The reflection form is coming on the chat, teachers. Thank you so much. Yes, Anushila ma'am, Zoom has become very, very expensive, and I'm somewhere have to pay a lot of amount for 1,000 participants. That's the reason I was not doing it, to be honest with you. However, it's not about the expense alone. It is also about Zoom giving a lot of technical troubles when there is sudden participation of many people. I'll ensure that this gets increased, and we do it for 1,000 participants eventually. Thank you so much for being part of this program regularly, teachers. Please fill up the reflection form. It's compulsory for everyone to fill the reflection form. It's only then you will be receiving the certificate. The form that you're getting is called as the reflection form. Please mention it, Super Teacher team members, mention that it's a reflection form properly, and then please launch it. Thank you so much. Thank you, teachers. Thank you so much for another Sunday. This was too much of an information on 18th June. I'm very sure about it. I'll ensure that next time it is decluttered a little. Probably we can do part by part for other big topics. But anyways, thank you so much for being a part of it. It's almost family time for everyone right now. I would request you to leave the call in case if you have to go. Otherwise, if there is any question, you can please put it on the chat. I'll be here for another 2 to 3 minutes. Thank you. Reflection form coming on the chat. Please fill the reflection form. It's compulsory for all of you to fill the form to get the certificate. And please fill the form before 3 p.m. today, because after that form acceptance might not happen. Thank you so much. Means a lot. Everyone who's filling up the reflection form will definitely receive the certificate. Thank you, Razia ma'am. Thank you, everyone. Yes, the form has got the question of email ID. So you put the email ID and you will receive the certificate on your mail. Great. Thank you so much. The program that's going to be on 21st and 22nd June is going to be on artificial intelligence and ChatGPT. If any teacher out there want to know about what exactly is this AI, why everyone is talking about it, what are the different types of AI, all these details are present on our website, superteacher.in, and you can go to teacher section and there you will be able to find. And some of you are already asking about it. So let me share my screen and show you where it is exactly present. And that will give a very good perspective to how to utilize AI in the classroom in order to impart a good curriculum. So यहाँ पे AI and ChatGPT Education Edition, you've got the complete details present over here, and you can click on enroll now. I'll go to Super Teacher website, which looks something like this initially. So right when you open, you will find this page. Don't get distracted. Go to programs. Click on teachers. Under teachers, you'll be able to find ChatGPT or AI and ChatGPT over here at the third place. Come down, click on no more or enroll now, and you can join the course. So I click on no more and I get the complete details of it. And I can click on enroll now. So this is going to be a 5 hours program, a quick program, and I'm just following the same pricing of 100 rupees per hour per teacher. If anyone is interested, you can join. Yes, Shivani ma'am, it will be considered. Don't worry. It will be definitely considered. Thank you. Thank you so much. But as of now, please fill the inquiry form, sorry, reflection form. It will have certain questions of what we have done in this webinar, just in order to bring more seriousness to the session and the certificate. Great. So teachers, if anyone is interested in AI and ChatGPT program, I'm sharing the details of the link on the chat. Please, have this link with you, copy it, and you can join the program. It's just a 2-day program, 5 hours, and it'll give you a lot of interest, a lot of insights. 5 o'clock to 7:30. It might seem a little tiring because you're coming after the school, but trust me, the topic is in a manner that you won't feel like being tired. So much to know about, and you will be surprised that all of these were so easy. And we used to think that, oh my God, these are technological terms. No, not at all. You'll love it. Okay, I'm just sharing the link on the chat. You could join. Great. Almost there. Thank you to all the participants who were there on YouTube as well. We'll increase the participant capacity in Zoom also, so that everybody joins in Zoom. Thank you everyone. Thank you teachers. Thank you Komal ma'am, Bindu ma'am, Shakti ma'am, Neeta ma'am, means a lot. Reflection form is there. Thank you Nidhi ma'am, good day. Thank you Meenakshi ma'am. I hope this session provided some insights about what NCFFS is all about. Thank you. Vasundhara ma'am, thank you for being consistent all the time. Means a lot. Thank you Minal ma'am, Shakti ma'am, Kanchan ma'am. Great Bindu ma'am, no problem. Thank you so much. Thank you. Please fill up the reflection form to get the certificates. It's there on the chat. Thank you Manveer. Thank you Anne Mary. Thank you so much. Every Sunday 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Super Sunday workshop by Super Teachers. Great. Thank you Samsung. Okay. Thank you Vasundhara ma'am. You're all together there in a different time zone in London and you are participating here. Okay, that's encouraging. Thank you. Very nice of you. Bindya ma'am. कॉपी नहीं हो रहा सुपर टीचर वाला मैम वो रिफ्लेक्शन फॉर्म जो है ना आप उसको फिल कीजिए वहां पर मेरा फोन नंबर भी है तो yeah, my handicap is not for Hindi. Most of these webinars that we conduct on Sunday, we try to address topics that are which are common and not subject oriented, Vasundhara ma'am. That's the only, so that's one of the policy that I try to maintain, so that everyone who joins the session has got some insight about what's happening. So that's the reason maybe that subject is getting disintegrated. Maybe, yeah. Oh, that's great, Bindu ma'am. Oh, good to know that. Thank you so much for understanding, ma'am. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Sarvesh sir. Thank you so much. Okay, I think it's time for me to close right now. Great. Thank you so much, Shailaja ma'am. I'll continue to remain exactly the same way. Yeah, let's meet with another fantastic topic. Mostly it will be something leaders oriented in the next Sunday, Super Sunday. Everybody can definitely participate, but more from leadership perspective. I'll let you know about what exactly it is on Tuesday. You'll see the update on the website. You'll see the update on Telegram group. You'll also see the update on LinkedIn and YouTube. Make sure you follow all of these things. The chat has got all of these things. Follow us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Telegram. Join the Telegram community. Your details are completely confidential. We'll make sure that yeah. Thank you so much, teachers. It was great interacting with one and all. Happy birthday, Bindya ma'am. Yeah, thank you so much. Bye, everyone, teachers. Thank you so much. Please copy the complete message and keep it on your system, teachers. You'll definitely be able to, click on the links. As of now, you might not, some of you are not able to, but that's okay. Please copy the complete message and keep it and then try again. You'll definitely be able to do it. Or else you can directly contact me. Reflection form has got my number. Bye, everyone. Have a nice time.